We're hot.
Yes, we are.
This bill legalizes sawed-off shotguns.
Greetings and salutations to all. It is once again ShiftLess, the podcast that's completely and utterly and unapologetically nothing but bicycles and dragonfly.
Welcome to Dragonfly Valhalla. We have all the dragonflies.
We have all the dragonflies. So I had so many questions when I posted my social media picture with my dragonfly.
Oh, did you?
Last week. Maybe we'll go more in depth with it, but my first impressions are they kind of work.
I don't know if it's placebo or not, but I feel like they work as well.
Yeah, we'll go into that.
Yeah.
We'll go into that. So for those that are completely out of the loop, Brad got a truckload
A truckload
of fake dragonflies, plastic dragonflies on little suspended hanger thingies that supposedly is an anti-flying bugs, biting flies, mosquitoes, whatever's inhibitor. And we'll talk about that. I believe that was a Caleb tip originally, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. We'll find out if it works today because my cinnamon leaf oil caught the dead.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Man, that was good stuff. Where do I get that? Do I get that from the Amazon or is it?
Yeah, I ordered it from Amazon. I just need to get some more. I'm still getting over the fact I got out of the pool and I was doing something and I came over here and it just happened in slow motion.
Yeah.
It tipped over, rolled off the edge, hit, and it was just like in a movie. It hit perfectly on the side. Like, no.
So is cinnamon leaf oil the same thing as cinnamon oil or those? Okay, so what's the differences?
One's made with the bark and one's made with the leaf.
Okay.
But
so it's cinnamon leaf oil
yes.
that does the trick.
Yeah.
So, what we've been doing with that stuff literally for years, recording back here at Casa Verde, is just put a few drops on. I put a couple drops on my legs, a couple drops on my arms, maybe rub a little bit on the back of my neck or something, and it seems to do a really good job.
It works. It
keeping
works.
The mosquitoes at bay, and they are not at bay this morning. This is the
I've not been bit yet.
Well, we got the dragonflies out now.
I think it's a line of sight thing, though. If the mosquitoes can sneak in without the dragonflies seeing them, they're going to come. So you got to flank them. It's a little moist this morning, a little thick.
I think summer's here, Brad.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had worse summers at this point of the year.
Oh, 100%.
But we are definitely in the meat of summer officially as of now.
I rode North Shore last night. It wasn't miserable. I rode a full east and a short west loaded, and it was not bad. Especially, so we didn't start till 6-ish.
Okay.
Which I think is probably the move because you don't get much of a breeze on that trail, especially on the west side.
True.
But then once we made it to Boy Scout camp, it seemed like it dropped like 5 or 10 degrees. So it wasn't bad. I was also not in a hurry. That helps too.
There you go. So loaded with the hut-to-hut kit out. Is that everything going smoothly there?
Yeah, I'm planning on just riding that until it's time to leave town. So
anything you've come across that needed any adjustments or tweaks or anything like that? All's good?
No, I've just been slowly adding a couple of things in. I got my new tubes, my additional tubes. Oh, I forgot to tell you, there's 100 companies that do those tubes. The TPU tubes.
TPU tubes, the Tubolito-ish tubes.
Yes, and I think we talked about that last week, that Tubolito is still way too proud of theirs.
I think that was just us discussing amongst ourselves,
okay.
not on the show, but I could be wrong.
You'll never guess why I bought these.
Brad found some teal ones.
Yes, I did. And they are sexy.
What brand is that?
Spin Go.
I've heard of that one before.
Yeah. I was literally looking for the Ride Now ones that I had purchased before, and the verbiage it's way too confusing. Like this one, you can see all the selections.
Right.
So it's pretty straightforward.
The Right Now ones are confusing. What size am I getting? How many are in a pack? And
like this, it says everything, all the things.
Right,
and I was just
right.
like, okay, and I ordered the wrong ones. I'm guilty.
Understood. Understood.
But
So did you send those back, or are they just collecting dust somewhere?
they're collecting dust right now. I mean, they're gravel tubes.
I mean, aside, what size did you order that you didn't mean to? Do you know?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the box.
Understood. I mean,
I think they're 32 to 47 or something like
I'll
that.
take those off your hands if you don't
Okay.
need them.
It was I got confused and I pushed the wrong button. I think I couldn't.
I remember the last time I ordered them, it was. It's like I think I'm taking a gamble here, but it's like
Yeah.
whichever way it goes, I've got a bike that they'll fit.
Yeah.
It was kind of my logic at
Yeah.
the time, and I think I did end up ordering the right ones. Now these spin goes, do they have the plastic valve or do they have metal valve?
I think they have a metal valve. I think the Ride Now ones have metal valves as well.
Now they do. They
Yeah.
used to have the plastic valves.
Yeah, I think these are metal valves. I can't remember. One of them, actually, I think both of them have metal valves.
Okay.
Ride Now and
And maybe they've all gone that direction because the portable pumps are so popular now. Did I tell you what we ran into with that Psych Plus portable pump I had? We did that Fort Worth ride we did a couple months back, the origins for the Taco Casa ride. One of the guys got a flat, and I lent him my pump, and he was using a Ride Now tube and inflated that tube, and it melted the valve.
melted the valve. You didn't tell me that.
It still had the plastic valve on that one. So when
I didn't know those things got that hot.
we didn't either. So basically, his ride was done because it melted the valve so much that it wouldn't hold air. It went limp dick on it. And
Did it fuck up the pump?
no, the pump's fine.
Oh, okay.
No, the pump was fine, but his ride was done.
Damn, that sucks.
So
There was no more tubes to be had.
that was like that was his second go around, and he was like, I'm just going to call the wife at this point. We were right at Sansom Park at that point. And
You know, sometimes people get plagued with flats. You know, I've been down that.
I was about to say, you don't say.
I've been down that rabbit hole. I find it best to keep a clean, hermetically clean area. New tires are always a favorite thing of mine. But anytime you go from tubeless to tubes, you have to make sure that there are nothing in your tire.
Yeah.
And when you change one tube because it went flat, you need to make sure you know why it went flat before you just getting hasty and just throw another tube in there just to appease the group that's standing there waiting on you. It's better to take another 30 seconds than it is to waste another 7 minutes.
Either to make sure what caused the flat is no longer an issue, or, and I think that in this one, the case was he rolled out after the first flat with less than ideal pressure. And I think he just eventually pinch flatted the second one.
Yeah.
Because he didn't take the time to
Put air in it.
Yeah. In which I understand, because he had one of those mini pumps, and his first flat, we were kind of at a trailhead area, so there's lots of people around, and he's doing this.
Always videotape people using mini inflators. It never gets old.
Especially when they're doing the other face at the same time, right?
I have a bunch of thoughts here. First of all, it's always free to start out with too much air in your tires. You can always stop and just go let a little out. The other thing I was going to talk about, talking about pumps. Have you seen Silka's new pump? They're
Their Psych Plus rebrand.
oh, is that
It
um,
it sure looks like the same thing, but with their own
Silka
custom,
logo on it?
and the brushed or the aluminum body and everything like
It's
that.
sexy.
Is it available in the U.S. now?
Yeah, our friend, Adam, has one, and he let me use it the other night, and I was like, oh man, this is nice.
When they first released it, they were saying it wasn't going to be available in the U.S. for a while because of the tariff stuff and things like that.
The Gravel Arrow mini pump.
No, let me see. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant their power pump.
This thing, so the hose comes straight out here, and then this is the pump mechanism. They don't have a better picture. Maybe they do, or not. Oh, and it's got a lock-on valve.
Yeah, that looks very Silka.
You know how sometimes you just have something in your hand and you're like, this is quality. It's quality.
I get it.
The other thing I was going to ask you were talking about those microinflators. I just had a list of topics that I wanted to say before I forgot. Does it even exist, or am I talking about two different products? Could you have a microinflator USB thing that does tires and maybe does mattress pads, or is one high volume and one's high pressure?
I have not seen anything yet that does both, but I've been
Man,
dealing with the same question.
yeah, that would be.
Because there's a micro inflator for the air pads that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, man, if that could be adapted for filling Presta tubes too, or Presta valves, that would be very cool. So
Are you kidding?
yes, man,
I see mosquitoes.
Do you? They are tearing my ass up.
Let's get you another Dragonfly stat.
Yeah, the below the line of sight of these dragonflies.
That's why I told you I put one over here by my feet.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now. Oh my gracious, they're tearing my ass up.
You got that sweet meat. Yeah, if somebody made a microinflator that serviced both, and I don't know, this one.
The bags on them are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if this one's gonna serve you well.
Oh, I'll make it work. Thanks.
But it's not connected at the base. I'll get another one ready just in case. I don't know if you could design one where you could just flip a switch on the unit itself and it go from high volume to high pressure, because that would be the business right there. Because I was thinking about, I told you I found my pillow, not meaning that I lost it, but I found a pillow that I'm super happy with. And I've also found a mattress pad that I'm really happy with. And I'm still super happy with my tent, just not happy with how hot it was when I slept in it.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit.
But I was thinking about, I like my mattress pad, and inflating it's not overly time consuming, but it would be awfully handy to have a microinflator. And then I started thinking, but then it would be cool to also be able to blow up my tires.
Well, I mean, that's like one of my fundamental targets for any outdoor gear I get related to camping, bikepacking, whatever else. If it's a multi-purpose tool that like really takes the points higher in my appreciation of it.
Operation Dragonfly Deployment, it's not going well.
Yeah. That's.
There
Oh,
you
look
go.
at you. Look at you. All right.
Now we'll see.
We're better already.
But this pillow, have you messed with one of these pillows?
Not yet. I almost bought one, and
Well, I will tell you, I haven't slept on it yet.
so this is the Nemo Philo
Elite. Tiny pack size.
soft cradling support. This is an inflatable pillow, and this is the one
Is this the one people are going goo gaga over?
This is the one all of the camping world social media influencer types are going gaga over.
The only thing I
It's like what, 45, $50, something like that.
think it was like $50.
And it is an inflatable pillow, but it's got some memory foam and cloth on one side for a much more comfortable placement. Oh my God.
Yeah, that thing's Cadillac. So you saw my little bike packing pillow that I have that I carry when I'm a hammock camp. It's tiny. It's like
Okay.
tiny, and it works great when you're in a hammock because you don't need a lot of support. But that one, when I laid down on that pad when we were there Wednesday night, I was like, this is not enough. That thing is Cadillac.
That's pretty comfortable
Yeah.
there.
And it's got the stuff sack's built in, and you can take the air bladder out and wash
Wash
the cover.
you can wash the cover. That was
Yeah.
definitely that was a positive of that because camping pillows tend to get a
A little gross.
little nasty.
A little gross.
little nasty.
A little nasty. In fact, Paula goes, because she was at REI with me, she goes, you sure you want blue? And I go, yeah, that way I'll know when it needs to get washed.
As opposed to
Black
Oh, okay.
or gray or...
Understood.
But pretty cool. My only gripe, and I don't have a fix to it, is when the valve is open, and I know this is going to be like, no shit, but as soon as you blow air into it, it starts to deflate.
Yep.
So you have to immediately close the
You have to
valve.
close it while you're blowing.
Yeah. And it's just a learning curve, but it deflates really easy. It packs up super easy. It's very well designed. I like it.
I also recently, and I'll bring it next week, I picked up my new camping pillow as well. And I was literally about to buy the one you have there, and saw a video from a guy that was basically saying why he didn't like this particular pillow.
And why didn't that loser like this pillow?
Price.
Oh, yeah.
Price was the main thing. And his logic was, it's a nice pillow, but for that price, it should have some additional features. And one of the things he talked about was the strap that goes around
Yeah.
the air pad. So like Miranda, she's another hiking, camping influencer type. She loves that pillow, but she got some kind of pillowcase thing for it that has that strap. But, it's like another $20 for that.
Yeah. The brand that I bought their mattress pad, that's also what was I going to say? The pillow, they make the pillow that Caleb likes, and it has the mattress pad straps. The Kilos Gear.
Kilos Gear.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the one. It's like Dr. Cushion or something. I don't know. It's
Dr. Cushion.
But I've only inflated it, and I'm very impressed by what I've seen.
Same. I haven't.
So far.
I mean, I obviously haven't slept on that yet, but.
And we're not going camping tonight. I'm going to tell you that right now.
You know what sucks is we were at North Shore last night, and I was like, kind of feels good out here. I could probably camp tonight. But I would have been in a hammock.
Yeah, that's what we said last week while we were out hanging.
Yeah.
It was pleasant as hell as
Yeah.
we were deploying dragonflies and hanging out around the picnic table at Lakeside.
Oh, it got thick. In retrospect, I should have brought my hammock set up just so I could, because I could have gotten out of my tent and got into my hammock, and it would have been seemingly 15 degrees cooler. I mean,
So if anybody listened last week, I think it was literally at the end of the show, we decided on an impromptu, or I decided on an impromptu basis, maybe we should try to camp that night because you wanted to check out your tent.
Yeah.
I wanted to check out my mattress. And both of us were kind of the mindset of there's really no way to test it. You can't test it in the living room. You got to test it out in the wild.
Right.
And we threw together an impromptu Wednesday night camp night out at
Ride and camp.
Yeah. And tried out some cycling equipment, tried out some camping equipment. Had had a fantastic donut peach.
Some off-air conversation.
A little bit that's
Yeah.
going to stay off.
Yeah. It was good stuff.
It was a good evening.
Yeah.
It wrapped up nicely.
Until I got in my tent.
And I mean, literally, we were hanging out all evening, shooting the shit, going, man, this is a lot more pleasant than I expected. And I wasn't in that tent 2 minutes. It's like, this is not going to work.
Same. I laid there and I was like, if you have those internal conversations, and I was like, if you just calm down and relax, you'll cool off. Quit moving, be still. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, fuck this, I can't handle it.
I cheated. I brought the portable fan as a backup, and it was in the truck on a just in case basis. And like I said, as soon as I got in the tent, it's like, I need, because we had a decent breeze out there. And
It was hard to highlight where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of swirling. Because in retrospect, if it would have been coming from a certain direction, I would have put my
reoriented the tent.
yeah, put my vest. That's the beautiful thing about that tent is you can just pick it up and turn it.
That is, yeah. I am a fan of the freestanding tent.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons. Is it's like, does it work best like this, or does it work best like that? Da-da-da-da.
And I did, one bonus is I did figure out how to run the Dragonfly all the way up one corner so it's off of the tent and have the tent deployed by itself, so you do take advantage of some breeze, but it still was not enough. And it seemed like the breeze died down tremendously like the second we got into our tent. So I don't even know. It was just too warm.
Yeah. Well, it was a big learning for me in general, because I mean, at least in my case, it wasn't the Dragonfly on my tent. I had the Dragonfly tied up in the man bun on top of the tent, so it was full inner, which mine isn't a full mesh inner, but it's a lot of mesh.
Yeah.
But it's the mesh is at the upper half, and then of course when you're laying down, you're below that.
That's what I was gonna say. Mine is like, it's probably 6 inches where the pan or whatever comes up, and then the Dragonfly goes below that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so it was like whatever breeze there was, none of it was going through the tent.
Yeah.
But that said, once I hooked up the fan, it was, I'm not going to call it pleasant by any stretch of the imagination, but it was completely tolerable. I was asleep once I got the fan going, I was asleep within 15, 20 minutes, most likely. And
the noise of a fan just helps me go to sleep too.
No doubt. But you said you were tossing and turning until like 2 in the morning or something?
Man, I slept for shit. And just neck sweat. Just my neck was just dripping sweat the whole night. And I was sleeping on that mattress pad, just straight on the pad. And I think what I should have done is put my sleeping bag liner over my pad, just like a sock. I think I would have been better off with that.
Well, I mean,
Lessons were learned.
Lessons were learned. My biggest lesson, to be honest with you, is, or lesson isn't the right, my big takeaway from it all is all of this camping gear, all of this bike packing gear, all of this outdoor gear, all they talk about is, how well it handles cold weather. I want to see some camping gear that's oriented towards us people that hang out in the heat of summer and the humidity around the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
Nobody, this is good to negative 120 degrees. I'm not going there regardless.
Well, I am here to tell you that there is a tremendous temperature differentiation between sleeping in a hammock and sleeping in a tent when it is warm. I could put you in a hammock right now in the shade and you would be like, I'm already cooler. It's just because you're like you're just getting air circulation all the way around.
I guess that's what I'm getting at, though. I don't think anybody designs a tent for air circulation. If there were a tent designed for air circulation.
But you got to think the inherent problem is you're on the ground.
How is that the problem?
Because the ground just holds heat and it puts heat back into your system.
Heat rises.
I understand. And it's coming from the ground.
No.
Okay.
The
You go out there and touch the ground.
the surface temperature right in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there. That upper crust is going to be the ambient temperature. But if you're in the shade, the ambient temperature of the ground is actually you get a couple inches below the topsoil, and the ambient temperature is basically what the average year-round temperature is. The deeper you get, that's the way it works. That's why caves are cooler. That's why springs are not hot springs that are heated by thermal energy and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a whole different tale. The basics everything I'm seeing, tents are made to be warm as possible, not as ventilated as possible.
I'm telling you, if you get off the ground, you're cooler. Just hanging in a hammock, you're automatically cooler.
I don't think it's the off the ground. I think it's the design of the hammock that's probably coming into play, is my guess. But we'll do the experiments another day.
That's fine. I can tell you through experience that it's way cooler sleeping in a hammock. And that is the inherent problem when you start getting into cooler weather in a hammock, is you think 65 degrees at night is beautiful. In a tent, it is. In a hammock, it's much colder.
Sure it is.
Much
Sure it
colder.
is.
You have to sleep like it's 50 degrees when
Yep.
it's 65 degrees
Yep.
outside.
Because you are getting the
Yeah.
colder temperature
Yeah.
underneath you as well.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
No,
So,
that part I do get.
no.
That part I do get. But now I'm on a mission to figure out the best way to figure out a summer tent setup that's viable. But that's going to be a long-term project. I think it's going to require a true full mesh inner.
It's called a hammock, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay, if that already exists, fantastic. I've got this. I got to figure out how. It's a challenge. I want to figure out how to make a tent that works in the summer.
Even better, why don't you do this? While I'm going for hut to hut, I'll be going for almost 2 weeks. I'm going to lend you my hammock setup.
Okay.
Just so you can string it up one day when you're in a park or whatever.
Understood.
And check it out. Because it has a full mesh enclosure on the top for the summer to keep all the bugs off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super intuitive to set up. And it is, when you get in there, you'll go, oh, okay, I get it. This is a lot cooler. And set it up next to your tent and do lay in here for 20 minutes and then get out and lay in here for 20 minutes.
Understood.
Without your fan and all your cheater stuff. Check it out.
I didn't start with the cheat,
I know.
but I was asleep well before 2 a.m. too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't know I didn't bring a fan. I didn't even think about that. I was trying to pretend like my truck wasn't there.
Would you have just gotten in and gone home?
Maybe. Come back in the morning and get my tent.
Okay. Okay. And to be fair, it is a Canadian tent. So I'm thinking high temperatures and high humidity is not at the top of Dan's design list when putting his tents together.
No, and I don't know that you could design the argument is to be made that if it's so warm that most tents won't keep you comfortable, then you just cowboy camp.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Except
Bugs. Yeah.
And that's I go back to the Texas, Louisiana, Florida. That's kind of my qualification. But I also look at it from this point of view. It's like
You've got Georgia.
I haven't camped in Georgia in the summer yet. I'm assuming it's pretty buggy though.
Fucking swampy and buggy too.
I've done Louisiana. I've done Florida. I've done Texas.
Yeah.
And every time it's like I'm never doing that again. But anyway, man, now I got completely off track.
Cowboy camping.
Oh, the cowboy camping works fantastic
It just brings a lot more element.
in the desert.
Yeah. But
in the plains.
But then you have to worry about creepy crawlies and snakes and everything else. Like the beautiful thing about a tent is it separates you from bugs and all the things that you don't want to come in contact with.
And I think there may not be a perfect solution. I don't think you're ever going to be comfortable sleeping outdoors with an ambient temperature of 90 degrees and an 80% humidity rate. It's just not going to happen. But the reality is even around here in the heat of summer, it still gets down to 80 degrees at night. Oh, there's our breeze.
Yeah.
And whatever, when there's even just a touch, well, hell, just hanging out yesterday afternoon in my backyard. Once I just got in the shade, as
Yeah.
long as there was a breeze, it's comfortable.
Well, it's like there's a spot, my front yard, even when it's 100 degrees, you can sit in a chair in the shade and there's always a breeze coming through there.
Yep.
And it's tolerable. But as you were talking about, I don't think you're ever going to be comfortable sleeping at whatever temperature and humidity you just said. I think, and I'm not going to say this the right way, but I think you could definitely achieve a level of comfort through exposure. Meaning,
You could build tolerance.
you could build a tolerance. Just like heat training, I think we as a society are all spoiled to sleep with it cold. And so we've trained our bodies that this is what I need to sleep. If you just made it a mission, you said, I'm going to sleep outside for 30 days, and you just picked right now and went forward, it would suck for 4 or 5 days. And then I think you would get used to it, and you'd be like, this isn't bad.
I don't disagree, but
I wouldn't go through it.
how many
I'm just
people are
saying,
going to do that?
just as a thought experiment,
mean,
it seems like that's doable.
I'm sure. No, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I mean, our
there-
ancestors
there's-
didn't have air
there's-
conditioner.
There's plenty of third world countries out there
Yeah.
that don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Hell, they don't have electricity.
Yeah. I mean, my mom grew up without air conditioner when she was a kid.
Right.
And they didn't die.
Right. You're not going to die. You're just going to be ultimately uncomfortable.
Maybe that's why they didn't live so long.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before. They lived just as long as we did. It's just the child mortality rates were considerably higher.
Yeah.
That's why the average age is lower. People aren't living tremendously longer now than they have in the past. Once you got past like 10 years old, you still live to 70,
Yeah.
80 years old, generally speaking, even way back when.
Back to heat training, though.
Yeah, man.
Caleb kind of unintentionally gaslit me the other day when I said, I'm hoping that my heat training translates to altitude. And he goes, I don't think it works like that. Am I crazy? Didn't we talk about all this?
It does work like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Caleb's the new Brad.
But I don't know if it was just something off the cuff he said and didn't think about it, or if he really thought that. I didn't. We kind of glanced over it, so I didn't get a big chance to discuss it with him. But I was thinking about this the other day because I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, I really hope that all my heat training's going to pay off, because I've been riding when it's 95, 99 degrees, and I'm like, when I get up there and it's 75, hopefully I feel like an uncaged animal. But I don't think that altitude training translates to heat training. I don't think it works backwards.
It kind of does and it kind of doesn't. The actual body stress aspect of it does translate, but that building
Heat tolerance.
that heat acclimation tolerance where you're just not, it's a head thing, not a physical thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm miserable
Yeah.
now. So that's the difference on altitude acclimation to heat. That said, somebody that's trained at altitude, realistically, they can become heat tolerant in about 2 or 3 rides.
Yeah.
So it's not like our old adage that we used to hear, oh, you're not altitude acclimated. Just show up that day at altitude and let it zap you while you're riding. You have the choice. You acclimate for 3 or 4 weeks, or you show up day of. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to show up a couple days, because then you'll get zapped. But if you're a flatlander and you show up at altitude the day of, well, you can't do the inverse. You can't go to heat day of if you
Yeah.
haven't ridden anything above 60 degrees.
That would be death.
It would be rough. But yeah, our buddy Dylan, when he talked about heat acclimation, he definitely addressed that, saying that it is a poor man's altitude training.
Yeah.
And we also did discuss it in person with him.
That's what I thought. I was just making sure I wasn't like remembering stuff wrong.
I understand.
Because I was like,
Hey, Caleb, listen to the Dylan Johnson episode,
yeah,
our Dylan Johnson episode that you were present at.
yeah,
But yeah, that it is fairly well understood that the body stresses are very comparable. It's not a direct 1-to-1 ratio by
sure.
any stretch, but it should be beneficial to you for your hut to hut. There's no doubt about
I
that.
can't wait. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. I do need to clarify. I haven't been training. I've just been riding my bike. I don't plan
How many
on-
hours did you do last week?
Not a lot. Maybe 9 or 10.
Okay. How close to riding every day are you on your training?
Pretty good. I've had heavy weeks and light weeks.
Understood.
Let me see. I was going to look at my week. Oh, I lied. 7 hours last week.
7 hours last week.
10 hours the week before. 14 hours the week before that.
Okay.
So I'm kind of on a taper headed into that, but I've felt really good lately.
Understood.
So,
This would be a good week to do another 12 or 14 hours if you can find a way to do it.
yeah. Oh, I'm planning on riding today.
What you going to ride today?
Same bike. I just don't know.
Just out of the garage and just do
Probably 2 hours.
a Jeter loop or something like that, or
Something a little further than that.
more than Jeter.
Yeah.
Understood. I may do Knob Hills. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about riding down to Knob Hills and riding Knob Hills and then riding back. It's not a bad ride.
Did you ever find out any more about, what is it, Copper Canyon or whatever it is? What's the place down there called? Canyon Falls, whatever it is.
Oh, their trail?
Yeah.
No, I got fired up about that and then forgot about it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
And I went and rode through there, I don't know, last week. And it was, somebody had been out there and done very little, but somebody had actually done something. And then I forgot my loppers that day. But we rode Sycamore Bend the other day, and somebody had come through there and mowed. So it was
Remind me what's Sycamore Bend?
way nicer. The old Alton Trail
Okay.
on the other side of the creek that you can't get past without serious ambition. It's mowed all the way to maybe to the bridge to 2449.
Okay.
So it was nice. Very nice.
Very good. Very good. Did you see,
I haven't seen anything.
I think you saw this. I think I saw a comment from you. Dorba had Judgment Day this past weekend. And our friend Austin.
Yeah, what a freaking animal. It wasn't just that he did it. It was the bike that he did it on and the time that he did it in.
Well, what did he do? First off, what Judgment Day is, it's an annual tradition from the local mountain bike club, the Dallas Off-Road Bicycle Association, where it's 10
trails.
10 trails in 24 hours, and people drive from trail to trail, and they put together, what is it, 75-mile
They have a 70 mile option
and a
100 mile option.
mile of single track.
Yeah, and geared or single speed.
Geared or single speed. And that's turned into the biggest event that Dorba's associated with year over year. And my math may be incorrect on this, but the way I remember it, it actually started as a bandit event from our friends Lambo and Pooh Man that did the first run of Judgment Day. I think the first couple years were just them. And the Dorba power structure at the time was just poo-pooing them for trying to attempt this thing because somebody was going to die because it was the heat of summer and blah, 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 blah. Free Bic.
Free Vic.
But it is, that was 25 years ago.
I didn't realize that they were the originators.
That's the way I remember it. So next time we see Lambo, we're going to have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
And, but it has since, and it's a big deal. I heard the crowd was smaller this year, but I think last year was like 400 people or something like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
So it's a big deal. It's a big accomplishment. But the way Austin did it,
He decided to ride. I'm not sure because I didn't stalk his Strava that hard, but I think he started at the first trail. I don't think he rode to the first trail.
okay,
But he started at the first trail, rode the trail, and then proceeded to ride to every trail, ride the trail, and then ride to the next trail, opting for only the 70
He
mile
only
option
did the 70-mile option, but riding his bike
in between each
from
trail.
trail to trail.
So he ended up with like 178 miles. And he did it in a little over 14 hours, which was stupid impressive.
And just to let you know, I have invited him to join us for an interview.
Oh, I'd love to talk to him.
And so he said he can come by any day, weekdays after 4. So let me know what day
Yeah,
before you head out works good for you.
I like that guy.
And he's kind of okay to look at too. So
Oh, don't fucking glaze him, please. He does not need his ego stroked anymore. And I told you my good news. We have a prospective sponsor for the podcast.
yeah, is it appropriate to talk about it here?
I don't know. He said he wants to talk to us too.
Okay, all right.
So that would be cool. Not only did he say that, he said, you can cut this out if you want.
Well, I'm not going to take the time to do that.
Yeah.
So.
But he said he has other people that are businessmen that make decisions that would like to sponsor as well.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought you meant that he had other shows he sponsored.
No.
He has other potential sponsors lined
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Shit. We could turn this into a pay for our beer gig.
Yeah.
Maybe even a
Pay
bottle
for
of
a whiskey gig, yeah. That's what we need. Is we need a whiskey sponsor. One of the podcasts I listen to, they're sponsored by, they have a different whiskey sponsor every week. And I don't know if they're actually getting the whiskey donated from the whiskey company or whatever, but one week they were sponsored by Still Austin, and I was like, that's pretty damn cool.
There's a multitude of different models that might be
Yeah.
at play there.
I saw you had a good ride. Was it yesterday? Did you ride 24 miles yesterday?
24 miles yesterday.
And what time? I did not look and see what time.
I started
that was.
riding about 10 a.m.
Okay.
I was shooting for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm
And what bicycle were you on?
I was on the state.
Okay.
I was on the state. I have not been on an e-bike in a very long time.
Good. It doesn't make me sad.
I figured it wouldn't. I was trying for 2 hours. But I was trying to ride my heart rate zone and everything like that, and I was pulling off a higher average speed than I expected. So I knocked it out in an hour and 50. I felt okay. I'd been off the bike a lot the past couple weeks between the events, and I had like either long COVID or something like that. I was down for a couple days, or maybe it's just regular COVID. I don't know. I think it's going around again. Who knows how that shit works? So I was kind of concerned that it would suck, and it wasn't. I say that. I was tired yesterday afternoon. I was
Yeah.
pretty worthless yesterday afternoon, but I wasn't wiped out.
I was worthless after our sleep last week.
I can believe that.
The next day, I was like,
I can believe that.
just felt washed.
But yeah, we were. I mean, that was long, and maybe that's why I wasn't so trashed yesterday when I rode. Maybe that 12 hours of heat exposure kind of helped.
Yeah, there's something to that. I mean, it was like a fucking sweat lodge in my tent.
Yeah, we were doing the medicine lodge.
I felt like I vetted all my demons.
And so, you actually touched on something. So the heat acclimation training rabbit trail that I went down that I was telling you about, a lot of it was also, well, this is how you do the riding for it, but the sauna, the hot shower, the not cooling down immediately. The duration of just maintaining the higher body temperature does most assuredly have an effect on that. But it can also be counterproductive, like we've talked about.
Yeah, you can
before.
dig. You can dig too big of a hole.
There-
I mean, you can go too hard on anything.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's why the biggest problem that people run into is they try to do too much in one go.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with the heat training. When you overdo it, then
It's detrimental.
tremendously so.
Yeah.
It goes bad quickly, and the duration for that badness can linger for weeks, sort of thing.
So what I've been doing is riding with heart rate and just trying to keep it steady and not really putting out any efforts. But I've noticed that, like, even, my normal, which is kind of like a baseline measure, my normal loop from here, which is about 13 and a half, 14 miles, I rode that on my Stella, loaded last week in the heat, like in the absolute heat of the day, 2 or 3 o'clock, and just kept it smooth and steady. And I still averaged like 14 miles an hour, and I wasn't doing anything difficult. And a year and a half ago, I would have averaged like 12 and a half, putting out efforts in good temperatures.
Yep.
So there's been some, and these aren't substantial gains, but they're gains. They're undeniable gains. So, and not only that, I finished and I was like, I feel fun.
Yep.
I didn't feel wiped out or overheated or anything. So
These dragonflies are definitely working.
I think they are. The breeze doesn't hurt.
Episode 112 brought to you by Plastic Dragonflies. We'll have our Amazon affiliate link in.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I think this is one of those things that became viral really quick, because when we first talked about it, I went on to Amazon and I looked, and there was an overwhelming amount of them available. And so I was like, I'm not going to go through this while we're on the podcast and try to figure out which ones I want, because I wanted lifelike looking ones, which I didn't get, obviously. But I also wanted more than just a dozen, because I knew I was going to end up putting them everywhere. And by the time I got back to my computer, which was admittedly maybe 4 or 5 days later, they were all sold out. Or it took 3 weeks to get them or
Right,
something. So that's
right.
why I finally found the ones that I thought I wanted, these, and I ordered them. And it was like 2 weeks to deliver, and I almost forgot about them. I'm sure they came on a slow boat from China, and
Literally.
yeah, but I don't think they were unaffected by the tariff, because I think I paid, what did I tell you, $12.99, and it was supposed to be 2 dozen, and if I didn't get 6 dozen, I'd kiss your ass, because I've deployed at least 2 dozen, and there's at least 2 dozen here, and there's at least 2 dozen more sitting back there still in the package. So it's either they can't count or it's different numbers or something. I don't know, but I got hooked up.
Yeah, and I'm this is third time's the charm. I'm 3 for 3 trying them out, and I wasn't sure while we were camping if they were really working or not, because it's like
It was breezy.
it was breezy, and it wasn't like, oh, I was getting chewed up by mosquitoes before we deployed. No, it was the gnats, and there were some flying bugs, but I wasn't getting chewed up by anything.
You know where would have been the real tester is when we were at 4R.
Well, that would have been, and that's where I was going. So this past weekend, the Airbnb I was staying at for Hell of the North Texas, really cool place. It's an old grocery store that they'd converted. An old general store that they'd converted to.
That's cool.
It was really cool. It was in Clarksville.
Did you take the last train to get there?
Yeah. What is that one? Some kind of fly bug thing.
It's a moth.
It was a moth. Okay. I thought it was one of the, never mind. But anyway, it had this really cool courtyard, and that's where I was filling the water jugs. And as I was filling water jugs, I was just getting tore up by mosquitoes.
You didn't bring your dragonflies.
I had, would you let me tell my damn story,
I'm
Bradford?
sorry, this is me shutting up.
I'm getting chewed up. It's like, man, I wish I had some dragonflies with me. And then I thought about, a couple of them that Brad gave me fell out on the floorboard of the truck. So I went and grabbed them. And that's where I learned, I think I had 2, maybe 4 of them actually. And so I put one up, and it was like, no, I did it on my hat. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I did one on my hat. It's like, well, none are flying in my face, but they're still chewing up my ankles.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe you got to be closer. So I clipped one to one of the handles of one of the water jugs that's closest to where I was standing. Lo and behold, they're not bothering me. It's like, maybe this is just coincidental. Maybe it's the time of day. I went over to this bar area they had in the courtyard to record a video, and they started swarming me there. So,
that's where you were when you recorded that video?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, I was like, where is he? Because I was watching that video.
Right. Oh, that's right. The video, that was the courtyard. It was really
I was
cool.
like, that place looks killer.
So, and Rich swung by and visited for a bit, and we went to dinner. And so we could use that as a chef's kiss layover or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Because this 125-mile route we have around Paris that goes right by that, it's really cool. So it's all of the net between Clarksville and Roxton, and then just some fantastic dirt roads that wind from Roxton back to Clarksville. So it's half net, half dirt roads, 125 miles. It's a really cool route.
That sounds cool.
So I put that route together for myself, and I made that the long route for this past weekend's event. But only one person did that route.
Because you were competing with Judgment Day. That's part of it. But who was the one person?
Peter
Rajkani. I knew it. I'm surprised Justin Carey wasn't there. Oh, he's probably at Leadville.
He should be in Leadville mode.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Mm.
And speaking of which, I'm not going to name names. It's not Justin, I'll say that. But I am going to throw it out there. It seems that somebody's going to try for an FKT attempt on the rat this year.
Oh, really?
It seems that is the case. So I'm not going to give any more detail. They reached out to me to ask if there was a formal process involved or anything like that. And who knows, things may change. But if the weather's, and this person they're wanting to do the group depart, but they're going to base it on what the weather forecast is for they might move it a day or two either way if there's a better weather window around there or something like that.
You're going to tell me off air.
I could.
You're going to tell me off air.
Maybe.
You're going to tell me off air.
I can keep a secret.
No, you can't. What's going on in the bike world? I feel like we've talked about all things surrounding bikes, but
well, we touched on it last week. I think. See, here's the problem when you and I spend time together away from the podcast. I lose track of what we talked about on the podcast versus over a donut peach.
How good was that donut peach?
Donut peach was awesome.
Yeah,
I really liked that.
They were giant. Normally, donut peaches aren't that big.
Oh, they aren't. That's my first exposure to one, so I didn't have anything to judge it against. But so YT Bikes.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
I don't think we talked about it on the air though. I think we talked about that just around the picnic table, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because we talked about Chumba moving.
We talked about Chumba and Revel on air last week. I think we talked about YT.
Okay,
around
I think you're right.
Picnic table. So YT Bikes is reorganizing, restructuring, basically still caught up in the bike industry nosedive that's still ongoing. Giants revenues were down 12%. So the bike industry crash is still in full effect. There's no doubt about that. I saw an interest. Man, I can't remember the guy's name. Ben Coates, I think it is the guy's name, if I remember correctly. He
joins Canyon as new U.S. General Manager, Ben Coates.
Yeah, and he was with Revel, but he's been with he's been in the industry forever. It was a name I had recognized when I saw that, and obviously Canyon's been having its issues as well, just like.
They are not scared to make a bunch of moves, though, and throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. And I admire it. Instead of just quietly fading away, they're scratching and clawing. They've got something they believe in, and I'm stoked for them. But I struggle with the direct to retailer or direct to consumer.
Direct to consumer. I
think it's inevitable. It's like,
but it seems like everybody that's direct is struggling with it because it is creating those issues. So there seems to be a high return rate, because you can't sell a $5,000 bike mail order without some sort of guarantee in it.
Yeah,
it's people just aren't going to do that. It has to be a fit guarantee. It has to be just like mattress guarantee. Sleep on it for 30 days and let us know for sure. And
there needs to They need to figure out how to, if they're going to, and I don't have the answer, but if they're going to direct to consumer, they need to figure out how to fold the bike shops in somehow. Make them an authorized service center for Canyon.
I think they've all tried to find ways to do that, and the traditional bike shop model, which arguably is already just basically and fundamentally flawed to begin with. Just the business model of the bicycle industry is
Well, it was built by a bunch of dirty hippies. I mean, you know,
essentially.
there's not.
There's not a lot of good business sense in the industry. It's all passion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty as anyone of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it all the time from whenever I talk to an accountant. It's like, what? That's a stupid way to try to make and they don't even say you're making a living. That's a stupid way to try to make a living.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but I'm having fun.
Yeah. It's like the old joke, like, how do you make $1 million in a bicycle
Start
industry?
with 5 million.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing is when you're passionate about something, money is typically secondary. I find that with cooking. You know, I wish I could be a millionaire cooking, but I'm not going to get rich doing it. But I find it, like I went on a meeting yesterday and I've got a guy that he's going to ship me A5 Wagyu to my house to cook for this deal. And I'm like, this is the kind of stuff that excites me. And I get to hang out with cool people in a cool location and cook food that I want to cook. They're not telling me we want this and this and this. And I get to hang out with my wife and I get paid.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a win-win-win-win-win.
No.
But I'm not getting rich. But I'm getting rich in other ways.
Exactly. And I think ultimately, for lack of a better term, our wealth in some ways maybe surpasses the wealth of others that might have much gianter bank accounts than. I'm not saying everybody that's rich is miserable. I know that's not the case.
Yeah.
I've known plenty of wealthy individuals that are just absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
And they create misery for everyone around them too. Which hopefully we don't do that.
I like to believe that I bring happiness to the table.
I try to.
Yeah.
I try. I'm not trying to beat my own drum, but if people aren't having fun and enjoying doing these adventures, what's the point?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's comfortable at the moment.
It doesn't suck.
Very comfortable at the moment.
It doesn't suck.
I'm thinking Knob Hills would be pretty decent.
Knob Hills wouldn't suck either. I will not be moving fast.
I'm hoping I'm moving because, you know,
What bike did you bring? A bike?
I did.
What bike did you bring?
I brought the Revel El Jefe.
There you go. Okay.
But this will be the first retest of that seat post.
Oh yeah, I forgot your seat post. Did you? I didn't get a good look at it. Well, did you figure out what happened? What had happened?
What had happened was, so when Brad and I did our riding camp last week, I rode North Shore might be the first time ever on that El Jefe, if I remember correctly.
No, not true. I saw you out there on a
that's right.
on a Tuesday.
That's right. That's right. I did do a short ride on it before.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And so but this was definitely the first time with that Redshift seat post. So I have the suspension seat post on it. And I had only ridden that at Horseshoe so far. And it did okay on that ride. For some reason on this ride we did on our ride in camp last week, while I was riding it, I thought the seat post had broken. I thought maybe one of the adjustment bolts had broken. I wasn't sure, but the saddle started slopping around, and I was fairly cooked when it happened, to the point where I can soft pedal this back to the camp, and I'm not going to mess with it trailside.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to camp, it's like, I'm not going to mess with it right now. But the next day, it possibly the adjustment bolts weren't
Tight enough.
properly tensioned. Possibly the clamp and the seat rails weren't perfectly aligned. Anyway, when all was said and done, the saddle was cattywampus from the clamp.
And what was the fix? Just loosen it and adjust it?
At the moment, I loosened the bolts and retensioned them, and the bolts were there. No sheared bolts. They didn't seem bent, but we'll see on the next ride. And I'm not exactly certain what I'm hoping it was just stupid user error, and I didn't align the rails on the clamp
Yeah,
correctly.
I've never seen any. I've never had anything like that happen. I've broken. I mean, I've been through so many saddles. I've broken rails on saddles. I've separated the rails from the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
The rails were still intact. I've broken the saddle itself. And then when I used to ride with Brooks, I would stretch them to the point where they weren't usable anymore.
And I have, and I was certain it was seat post, not saddle,
Yeah.
when it happened. And I have broken, outright sheared a carbon seat post in the past. That was scary.
Yeah, I don't ride carbon.
No,
rails.
I do not do carbon seat posts anymore.
I don't, just because my seat post won't allow for it. Because mine has to clamp on the sides. Those
Okay.
Ericssons do. And all the carbon seat posts have to clamp top to bottom. The mechanism.
I'm sorry. What does the Ericsson have to do with a carbon seat post?
Because oh, I thought you were talking about carbon rails.
No. I'm
Okay.
talking the seat post.
I thought you were talking about carbon rails. I don't ride carbon railed saddles.
Understood.
Sorry. I don't have anything against carbon seat posts. I ride the Ericsson.
Yeah. So yeah, and so I've had the broken seat post from a carbon post. I've also had broken clamps on different seat posts a couple of times, and one broken bolt. And yes, I'm a fat ass then, but it just more has to do with I ride things longer than I should a lot of the time.
Like my old boss used to say, looks like you used that too much when it was new.
And I'm still figuring out grips too. So I don't want to hear it from you if you look at my grips, but I haven't decided what direction I want to go with the next set of grips on that bike. So I'm pondering.
Grips are very personal. You know, I mean, saddles and shoes and grips are like
Contact points.
yeah, three major things, and it's one of those things like it doesn't matter what saddle you ride, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's yeah. Whenever I see those social media group posts, what's the best saddle? Please don't do that. That's
Yeah,
And if you're listening, please don't do that.
yeah, it's a super personal thing. I mean, and it has more to do with body geometry than any other part on your bike, pretty much. Grips you can get used to. I mean, you can arguably get used to any saddle, but it may not be the right fit for you from the get-go.
Yeah, I'm about to say I would disagree
Yeah.
with that.
I mean,
The
if it-
saddle has to be.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't jive with your body physiology, it's never going to work. That being said, I changed the saddle on my Stella because that B17 cambium or whatever it was, the side of it was cracked, and I knew it wasn't going to hold up. Tremendous weight savings, first of all, but it took me a couple of rides for, the handshake to be complete, so to speak, and now it just disappears. And that's one of the things Adam and I were talking about the other day, and I think we've discussed this before, but I've always understood the best piece of biking equipment you can own is one that you never think about during a ride. Like whether it's a helmet that you forget you even have on your head, or a pair of grips that you never even realize, because when you start to go, oh, these grips are slippery, or these grips are too fat, or anytime you have all those thoughts, then that's not the piece of equipment.
Yep.
If you're thinking, well, this saddle's a little too wide, or these shoes are a little too tight, the best piece of equipment is the one that you put on, you start your ride, and you never think about it.
It's it's like my dad used to say, if you never hear an offensive lineman's name during a game, they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And it's the same for bicycle equipment.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't go, I wonder if this is the right whatever.
Yeah.
If something spurred that thought, there's probably something better for you, or an adjustment does need to be made of some sort. If you don't notice it, if it's transparent, at that point, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's the same thing with bike bags, too. If you put them on there and you never have to worry about them, they're doing great job.
Man, bike bags. That's tough. I'm in that one now. I'm trying to find the right top tube bag for that state bike, gas tank type bag.
Do you have any interest in the tail fin long formats? Because I'm super interested in those.
I don't know what that is. What's the tail fin long format?
Let me see. I think I just saw one.
That's a top tube bag.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean, is it just Tailfin branded and it's a top tube bag, or is there something Tailfin about it that makes it unique and different?
A lot of people, a lot of bag makers, there seems to be a trend on the gas tank style bags. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I'm coming up. Getting there. There she is. So this is a growing trend right now. Now this is the ultra long one.
Okay. So it's a gas tank type top tube bag that basically covers the vast majority of the top tube.
But they have 3 different lengths, I think.
Okay.
And they're all, I think they're not named, but they're all sized volumetrically. So I think this is like a 4 liter or whatever.
Understood.
But, you know, when these bags first started, they were all pretty much the same size and shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then Revelate started doing wider ones. And then people started doing different closure mechanisms.
Different closures. Some are taller.
Yeah. And
But they hadn't gotten longer for the most part, and Tailfin's going longer.
this is the new trend now.
I would be interested in checking it out, but to be honest with you, in general, that's my biggest problem with the top tube bags is the
Here it is, 1.6 liters, 2.2 liters, and 3 liters. So this is the 3 liter. That was barely off.
I don't think that would work for me. I do tend to straddle the top tube when I'm stopped and stuff like that.
Same. I lied. That's the 2.2. So there's one that's even bigger than
But
that.
in general, my experience has been the bigger a top tube bag gets, the more likely it is to roll over and
This seems to be a pretty secure system.
be very, again, where I become very aware of the bag's there, and that
Yeah.
drives me batty.
Yep.
So like right now, yesterday I tried an Apidura bag on the State, and I've got a salsa bag on the El Jefe I'm trying today. These are actually donations from Mr. Waldschmidt for this ministry equipment library, but I'm going to try them out myself, not to keep them for myself, but it's a fantastic way to try stuff out. So we got to figure out how to get this Spinistry equipment library dialed in so people can try out stuff themselves. I liked the Apidura bag yesterday, but it was a short go around with it. So
Yeah.
nothing definitive there yet.
I guess I just get content with my bags because, when I first started, I think I borrowed some bags from probably Thornton, and then I just bit the bullet and bought a bunch of Revelate bags, and I replaced a couple of them just because of functionality and technology change.
Mm-hmm.
And the major change I made was just from usability. And the one that really stuck out that I got frustrated with, there was 2, but my saddle bag or seat bag was the major one, because the first one I bought, and I can't remember, I'll get these backwards, was either the Terrapin or the Viscacha, whatever it's called. Because one of them, the bag itself was part of the strap system and everything. So in order to load it and unload it, you had to do it on the bike. And it was a pain in the ass, unless you just unhooked the whole apparatus from the bike. And after, I don't know, 3 or 4 bikepacking trips, I was like, this is a wear out. And so I transitioned to, I want to say it's the Viscacha. Maybe it's the Terrapin. I don't know. And so now that one's just a shell that straps to the saddle and the seat post, and it has a stuff sack. And you could use any stuff sack you wanted, any dry bag you wanted. But the Revelate one's really cool because it's nice and durable and thick, and the inside is rubberized coating almost, but it has a bleed bladder on it, which makes it even more convenient. Not to mention the fact that you can pull it off the bike and take it over to your campsite or take it to the table or whatever.
Right.
And you can stuff it away from the bike and then take it and load it on the bike. And it makes it better for transportation. So you can just take your bag out, if you're putting it on a bike rack or something. And the same thing with my handlebar bag. I initially started with, I think it was the Sweet Roll back then, before they came up with the Sweet Harness, I think, or the Sweet Support System, or whatever it's called. They have a rack now.
Mm-hmm.
This was, they had a harness up front, and it was reinforced. But my main gripe with that was it was super heavy, and the bag was only a single side stuff sack. So it was really difficult to get it. I had multiple qualms with it, but it was a similar situation. After 4 or 5 bike packing trips, I was like, this is not working. And then that's when I forgot what bag I use on the front now. It's still a Revelate, the blue harness with the white bag. But that thing came out, and it's way lighter, way more user-friendly, and it seems to just set up better. And I've been super happy with it. And I know there's tons of other bag companies out there that do great stuff, but I tried and true, Revelate just kills it for me.
Generally speaking, I've had pretty good experience with the Revelate stuff I've had.
Pronghorn, that's what I was trying to think of.
All of it has, I have the same issue with all of it, though, in that, and maybe it's a Kevin issue, probably, because I do like to move my bags from bike to bike as opposed to have dedicated bags for each bike is my preference. Probably just cheap bastard self. I don't want to buy $100 bag 4 times,
Yeah.
sort of thing, or whatever. So I guess what I'm getting at is what I run into in that case is I always end up with the extra Velcro hanging off and brushing up against a leg or getting in the way of this or that. Whereas if it's just dedicated to the one bike, well, all right, it's strapped on, you trim it there, and there's no excess. And because, when you go from a wide aluminum tube to a small steel tube or whatever else, there's a big variance there.
Well, I only have 2 bikes that I ever really bike pack with, my Fargo being my main go-to. So I don't do a lot of bike swapping with my bags.
Well, I mean, I'm even talking just the regular everyday saddlebags. And again, the top 2 bags, gas tanks like a standard bag for.
Yeah. I mean,
I try for it to be.
I have those dedicated to bikes.
And
but
maybe
as far
that's
as
what
like,
I need to do.
As far as like true bike packing bags, I don't. But I've gotten to the point, like, over the years, you just amass things. When I first started riding and I had multiple bikes, I would like have to take pedals off of one bike to put on another bike. And after a couple of years, I was like, I'm just like, why I gotta keep doing this? I'm just going to get another pair of pedals. And so that became kind of the standard, like, okay, you get another bike, you get another pair of pedals, And the same thing with bags. I used to, and I've still been guilty of, especially with toolkits, like taking a tool bag off of one bike, like a jerry can is typically where I put a lot of my tools, and spare parts and stuff and CO2s or whatever, or a seat bag. And I've kind of gotten to the point where that's bitten me in the ass a couple of times, not because I've had a breakdown, but just because I've gotten to a trailhead or to a location and realized that I didn't have my tool bag.
Yep.
And then it becomes this thing in your head like, shit, I hope I don't have an issue.
Yep.
And so I started trying to make sure I have those pieces appointed for each bike, especially for my quote unquote daily drivers,
And that, quite frankly, that's my big conundrum at the moment with my my portable inflator is
where did you put it?
Yeah. It's like I don't want to buy 5 portable inflators at $100 a pop.
Yeah.
So my current system is whatever bikes don't have the inflator on them, I have the saddlebag just strapped to the frame. So it's like that tells me that there's not so the one where the saddlebag's on the saddle, that's where the inflator is. It's not a perfect system. I'm not saying it is. The perfect system is, but even that's not a perfect system Because then it's almost like the tubeless thing. It's like, when was the last time I charged that inflator?
That's what I was just about to ask you.
I mean, I'm kind of to the point now. It's like, actually, I think CO2 makes more sense.
And that's the other thing is, are all the inflators, are they all chargeable? Are they all rechargeable, I guess I should say?
I would think that would be the only viable way. The only ones I would be interested in would be, but
What if they were battery operated?
I
I guess if you're doing a multi-day trip, you could charge it off your generator hub or through a battery bank or something like that. So
yeah, very
I guess
definitely.
I guess that's not too much to manage.
It's the same as charging a phone or a computer or whatever, whatever else. And it actually seems to hold a pretty good charge. But it's if you don't use it for 3 months,
Yeah.
that's the problem, sort of thing.
So do you have any fail safes for that? Do you carry a pump or CO2s or?
At this point, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far I'm only taking it on short rides.
Yeah.
If I were to go on a multi-day bike packing adventure, I don't know that I would lean on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would probably defer to I'm still a fan of the Lezyne micro pumps myself.
Yeah. Lezyne does some good stuff, man. And their tools too. I like their stuff.
So, yeah, probably for true multi-day stuff, I would still lean towards my traditional micro pumps that Lezyne micro floor pump it's the best one that's out there that I've ever come across, but doesn't mean I've come across everything. And that's the thing on bags. Well, that's the thing on all these accessories and all. You can't try it all out.
No.
I mean, so far I'm a fan of everything Oveja Negra that I've used or come across.
Yeah.
But that doesn't automatically mean that, I want their top tube. Actually, I don't know that I want their because I want a bolt-on top tube bag.
Yeah.
Almost all my bikes have the top bolts now. So
Yeah.
that seems the best way to do it. But I don't think the Oveja Negra top tube bag, I think it's strap only, but I could be wrong, sort of thing.
Well, and that's what I was getting.
So many accessories. So
That's what I was getting at
So little
with-
money.
Yeah. The Revelate conversation earlier is like when I first started getting bike packing bags, well over a decade ago, Revelate was not the only name in the game, but they were definitely the front runners. They had the most experience. They had,
Sure.
great R&D. They had some really cool people riding for them that were really testing the limits of their equipment. And so I kind of got in on not the ground floor, but very early in their development. And at the time, they were the best thing going. And so I've just kind of stayed with the tried and true. And I've tried other bag producers in the past, and I have a couple that are still on my bike that, once again, there's a bag that I have on my bike that never disappears. It drives me crazy every time I ride with it. And it's a jerry can bag, and I won't name the company, but they literally just made the strap too low on the jerry can bag. So every time I ride, it wants to cock over to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to either reach down and turn it, or I have to nudge it with my leg.
Well, I mean, I have the Revelate jerry can, and that's what it does
It
to
does
me.
it too.
And so I turn it the other way,
Oh,
where what's supposed to be the seat pack or seat post strap is my frame strap, and the frame strap is my seat post. So it gives it a taller on the seat post mount and a closer in, and it killed two birds with one stone, because I was also having, since it was flopping over, I was getting the inner thigh brush from it too.
I hadn't even thought about that.
But that even gives me more gobs of extra Velcro closure.
Well, I was running mine upside down.
Yeah,
Like underneath the top tube.
Under the top tube.
But then I went to a half frame bag, and you can't do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So it's just.
And that's the thing. It's in your application, it doesn't work. In my application, maybe it does. And that's what's so frustrating about this whole bag situation. It's like, it's a major investment, and it's a crapshoot a lot of the time. I mean, I say that if you have a friend that has a bag and maybe you can borrow it or try it, that's the best way to go.
That is the best way.
But there's always new stuff coming out.
Yeah. But let's be fair. Technology in bags hasn't changed tremendously in the last 5 to 10 years. What we're seeing now is a lot of people are migrating to a rack style system. you know, and Tailfin and Old Man Mountain. And there's another company. They're doing that space is really advancing, especially with the what is that called? The lock system. There's a proprietary name for it, but where it's like a twist lock and it has the magnets, and you know, it's the same with that bottle you have. And Justin Carey uses those too.
Oh, like the Fidlocks.
Fidlock, that's the word I was looking for.
Gotcha.
So they're integrating that into the rack system, especially like the panniers,
Gotcha. Okay.
and the fork leg attachments and stuff.
Yeah, I almost
Ortlieb is
I
doing that
almost
as well.
picked up an Ortlieb
Yeah.
fork bag.
Yeah.
With that setup, and I'm still debating it. Here's the crapshoot thing again.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked up the Aero Spider cradle for the front bar, so I have the Aero Spider rack.
I don't even know what that is. Who is that?
It's a tail fin types. You've seen my rack setup. I showed you that, didn't I? On one of my bikes, I think.
What's the company?
Aero, AERO.
AERO.
Just do Aero bike racks,
Bike.
and it's called the Spider system. So I have the rear rack, and it was on the El Jefe.
AEROE?
AERO.
E.
Is it E? Is it
Yeah.
an end at the end? My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just, when it comes to bikes, there's a lot of aero stuff. Racks. Spider rear rack, Spider pannier, Spider front rack, Spider handlebar cradle.
I have the Spider handle. I just got it because I was happy.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that. Sorry.
I was happy with the rear rack. You won't be. It's too heavy for Weight Weenie Brad.
I have never proclaimed to be a weight weenie.
You always talk about things being too heavy.
It's a cumulative thing, though.
Understood. And
I don't ever call out one thing and go, well, I mean, I do, but wait, I'll tell you this. Weight is a consideration, but it's not number one consideration. But I have to admit, the first time, as soon as I pulled this up, I go, that looks heavy. You're right, and I'm right. How about that? We're both right.
Okay, we'll go with that. But I haven't put it on anything yet. But as soon as I got it, it's like, all right, does it fit on this bike? Does it fit on? It's like, and all the bikes, it's like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually strapped it on and tried it out yet. That'll probably be just something I do in the next couple days.
What I'm very interested in now is a minimalist front rack, not panniers, like a little, I forgot the name of the company, but they make one that I really want, but it's like $200, and I had it in my cart, or not had it in my cart, but I had it pulled up at one point. But that's what I'm more interested in nowadays is minimalist metal rack that is lightweight.
Yep.
That I can put on the front of my bike, and it doesn't have a huge footprint. It's not affected by bouncing and everything, and that I can just put a voila strap on and strap a dry bag to, and not have to worry about it. And it's the first time I've really considered a rack versus a bag system. And I was going to say it's interesting because Thornton's going on hut to hut with us, and he's elected to do rack systems.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how all that works out because he started off with the Old Man Mountain pannier mounts that are on suspension fork legs.
Okay.
But I saw his Strava ride yesterday, and it looked like he had migrated those pannier bags to the back.
What bike is he riding?
It's a Cannondale something. I don't know. I don't know all the Cannondale bikes. So I'm interested to see because, you know, that's the cool thing about doing these trips is, you know, there's going to be 8 guys and there's going to be 8 different pack outs, 8 different thought processes from all of these things, you know? So it'll be cool to see everybody's setup. I don't know what this bike is. It's a Cannondale.
Walk me through the logistics of are y'all all going up there together in one group from here? Or
Yeah. We're going to meet there, but the 4 from Houston are going in the 4 from DFW area.
So y'all are all going in one vehicle, or oh no,
no.
no, that's what I'm trying. So the only time y'all will be together is once you're there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And what date do you get to Durango?
So we're leaving on August 1st. We'll get there that Friday evening, nighttime, whatever.
Okay.
So we'll have Saturday, all day Saturday to dig around and pre-ride and gather last-minute supplies and whatever. And on Sunday is when the ride actually begins.
Okay.
And then the Houston contingent is pulling out at Paradox, which is, I guess it's day 5? Day 4. I can't remember. And then we're continuing on to Moab.
I may have to give you a camera to take, one of my 360 cameras to take with you, and just not document the trip per se, but maybe just all the pack outs before y'all head out. And because I would love to see that.
Yeah. It's just interesting. Like, Gary's a bike shop owner. So he really has his finger on the pulse of bike bags and current technology and all that. And he sent me a picture. His bike is gorgeous, but I forgot what kind of bags he got. But he got all matching bags, and they're super sexy. Let me see. Let's see.
So,
I'm sorry.
but nobody's doing a true bike packing pack out though, right?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Because I assume nobody's carrying a tent or a hammock, or
No.
All right.
No, there's no need to.
Understood. But outside of the sleeping stuff, probably everybody's got all of the bags they would typically have for a multi-day bike packing thing-ish, or is that assuming too much?
I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself, but I mean, I've got a handlebar bag, got a half frame. Yeah, I mean, you're right, because I've got a saddle bag. That's where all my clothes are going to be, and I'm going to actually run a hydration bladder, on my back, run a Useway. Yeah, the bags are all present, but mine aren't filled like they normally would be.
Right. And I guess that's what I was trying to say. It's
Yeah.
going to be essentially the same bags and bolt-ons and strap-ons and everything. It's just not necessarily filled the same way as.
Yeah, because my handlebar bag is barely filled enough.
Did you ever figure out what the water filtration situation was going to be?
It's still kind of up for debate.
Understood.
I think there's going to be water filters. We still need to have a conversation about who's carrying what, because there doesn't need to be redundancy across the entire group. We don't need 5 water filters, and we don't need 5 pumps and whatever. Keep going. We don't need 8 of everything.
All right. We probably need to start packing it in for this show, so we've got hopefully a pretty cool guest.
Yeah.
Or 2 next week, potentially now.
Yeah.
So we'll work on those details. We need to work on the technology. We need to verify technology before we bring our friend from the Great White North on board next week. We need to make sure that works appropriately.
Well, we did the remote with the guy from Pine out of Maine.
The last time we tried the remote, remember, it went all completely sideways when it was just us.
Well, that was before I had better internet. There was a lot of factors.
Let's check our factors ahead of time is all I'm getting at. And that might be a good situation to have our other interview in person with the late afternoon good-looking gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll also teach you how to work a certain camera at that point to take with you as well. Because I would love to see all that stuff documented.
Yeah.
Unless it's too heavy for you. If it's too many grams, you may balk at it.
How many grams is it?
Too many.
If it's over 240, you can get GTFO.
What's 240 work out to in real weight?
It's a little over half a pound.
I think it's sub 240 then.
A pound is 454 grams or 455, depends on who you ask.
Okay.
So, That's the thing too is, you act like I am a weight weenie, but I never weigh my bikes.
I
Like
understand.
Shannon,
I understand. You look at stuff and you go, "That's too heavy. I'm not going to use it."
I can't remember the last time I said something like that. I mean, I had that B17 Cambium saddle on my bike and I loved it. And I didn't care that it was heavy, but it's fucking heavy. That's a heavy saddle.
It is heavy.
And I didn't realize how heavy it was until I took it off my bike to put my other saddle on there and went, oh my God. The new saddle I put on there is easily half the weight.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But I don't know that it's any more comfortable.
And I think the Cambium saddles are actually heavier than the old Brooks leather saddles, to be honest with
Maybe, but they make a carbon one.
you. A carbon railed one?
Yeah.
Nah, hell no. That's
I know.
stupid.
Well, and I would gladly run one, but like I said, I can't. I'm limited for the clamp mechanism.
Understood.
And I'm not mad about it. But that being said, I said all that to say I am curious to know what my bike weighs completely loaded out.
All right. I'll bring the scale when we do our technology and camera test. How about that?
Yeah, that would be. I'd be interested because I'm, dare I say, impressed at how relatively light my bike feels loaded right now. And I have everything on there that I want. And even some things that I'm like, I might not even need that,
All right. It'd be interesting to see what other people send your guesses if you've made it this far. shiftlesslive@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad's Steel Chumba Stella, size large, set up with all the bags like you've listened to Brad describe off and on. Let's guess at some weights. We'll start with Brad. You throw it out there. What do you think? I understand we're grasping at straws here. Just stab in the dark. What do you guess the total weight of bike and everything in it?
32 pounds?
Is that with water or without?
No, without water.
I'm going to go. I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
I'm going to take the over. 32 pounds.
That's what I think. I don't know.
With all your bags and the stuff in the bags.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could weigh it. I've got a very accurate scale, and I can just balance it on the rear tire and hold the brake.
All right. I'm not going to do it now. We'll let shiftlesslive@gmail.com. Over or under 32 pounds?
I think 32 pounds is an accurate guess, but I also don't even know how much it weighs without any of that stuff on there.
I think it's pretty close to 32.
I don't think so. I will tell you that bike, everything that I have on that bike disappears, like I mentioned earlier, which is awesome. I mean, I rode last night and I'm flicking my bike around and swooping it into turns, and it feels amazing. Amazing. I'm excited.
All right. I got to pack up because I got something I got to do.
All right. Go do it. Go ride your bike,
That's what I'm going to do. I got to go ride my bike.
This bill legalizes sawed-off short guns.
All right, here.